introduce you to the firm, tell you a bit about us, what we do here, and get you to meet our people. You've met us already. So, okay, so sometime before 2018, it was conceived to start something, a law firm that brings something unique to the market and transforms the way that legal advisory service is done. So in 2018, that vision was better, and that was how Dealhq came to existence. So we started operations sometime in October 2018, and like Mrs. Ojosa was saying, the firm started with just a small team of maybe less than 6 people, somewhere here in Lekki. It was just a small team. We are an Africa-focused transaction advisory law firm operating from Lagos and Abuja, Nigeria. So we have an office in Israel, in Abuja anytime. You can feel free to, go to our office in Abuja. So what do we do? We support businesses and we position them to operate efficiently within their market sphere. So we're strictly a commercial law firm, we're strictly transaction advisory law firm. So if you come into Dealhq and you want to do litigation, this won't be the case. We're going to be 5 years this year, come October, 5 years in the market, and I will say that we have built quite an impressive track record. Interestingly, in 2019, when we were just 7 months in operation, we were ranked by IFLR as a recommended law firm. In 2021, we were also ranked. We moved up the ranking ladder, and we have gone ahead since then to, be ranked by IFLR, Legal 500, Corporate International, and Global Law Experts, among others. So I will say that we've come a long way. We're not where we want to be, but coming from where we started, we built quite an impressive record in different practice areas. So you look at capital markets, finance, ESG, real estate and construction, you will find us there. Technology, you will find us there. So I'll talk about how we started and who we are. Our vision is to be the #1 deal advisory firm in sub-Saharan Africa. So that when you think deal advisory, you think Dealhq partners, right? So we've mapped our footprint in different sectors, and like I said, we're moving into some other, not just Nigeria, but some other African countries. We're making that move. So I'm going to talk about our people. I would like to think that we have the best set of people, or the best team you can ever find anywhere in Dealhq partners. Usually when I talk to people, I will say that in the course of their career, I think that everybody should have a Dealhq experience, whether at entry level, mid-level, or at the at the peak of your career. So we have a fantastic team, a very young and innovative team in Dealhq partners. People who always are looking to learn, looking to grow, looking to expand their knowledge. And Dealhq provides you an environment where you don't just come and you do the regular. You must grow, because we are always learning, always training, and that learning, everybody's involved. So we have times where everybody's presenting, sharing. We call them knowledge sharing sessions, right? So if you come into the firm, growing is not optional. So support your professional development. And like I said, our team is young and very innovative, and we strive for excellence. So one of the key things that stands us out is that we pay attention to detail, where we've gone for excellence, right? So whatever it is that your role is, whatever part you're playing on the team, we make sure that you cross the T's and the dots the I's. That's one of the things that we ensure that we're constantly doing here in the firm. The culture here is one of the excellence. We have a very, very friendly and warm environment here in the firm. There are no airs around anybody in the firm. So from the associates to the business support team to the lead advisor to the managing associate, everybody is approachable, right? So we're a team, we work together as a team. We do not encourage disruptive competition where one person is trying to, outshine the other. We always work together to ensure that the work gets better. We respect ourselves, we serve ourselves, and we serve our clients. We're always looking to exceed our clients' expectation. And so far, we will say that we've not had any client come back to say that we did a shoddy job for them, and we've not had any of our transactions go to litigation. So we've not had litigation of any transaction that we have done, because we're careful to ensure that everything is tidied, everything is done properly. So I've talked about service and respect and integrity too. It's a strong point for us. It's one of our values, our strong values in the firm. That's about us, and I will end with saying that beyond here, anytime, if you're thinking Dealhq, please think Dealhq partners. Welcome again, and thank you for coming today.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, my name is Austin Ken, and I'm an associate here in the firm. So once again, I'm welcoming everybody, both associates, our lead advisor, and our winners to this year's award. So I'll start by saying that it wasn't an easy one, because we have our winners here. We didn't just pick them and then started with the process. So the competition started, or we opened submissions on the 24th of February, and then ever since then, had so many submissions. And this person here are winners. Please celebrate them. Alright, so after our initial submission and then closed submissions, we had to do our internal review and read through all the questions and then pick our finalists. Our top 10 finalists before we had our winners. So even as they are not here, I thought that it's important we celebrate them, because I think all essays that made it to the top 10 were very excellent essays, but they made it at the top 3. Their essays were very, very good and were more than excellent. So please celebrate with me the top 10 finalists, and I'll be calling their names and their universities, even if they are not here. So please just do me the honors and do them the honors of putting hands together for them. So the first person here is Dealhq Atoyibi from Undergraduate University. The second person is Adekunle from UA from above the name Awolowo University. Third person is Ajala Ufuri from Obafemi Awolowo University. Then we have the fourth person, Aibami Olawoluwa from Obafemi Awolowo University. The fifth person, wow, where's our arrangement? The fifth person here is Jocelyn Nwaeze from Undergraduate University. The sixth person is Honor Damunsi from Adekunle Ajasin University. The seventh person is Igwanu Chidera Stephanie from Enugu State University. The eighth person is Khadija Tulaimi from Bowen University. The ninth person is Ngwata Afopike Savage from Nnamdi Azikiwe University. And the last person on the list, which is not the list anyways, is Ude Fortune from the University of Nigeria. So they are fortunate enough to have these three as the top three. So let's put it together.
So, thank you, everyone. We have one of the judges that reviewed the essays, and like I said to our winners when I hosted it in my office earlier, we had a lot more submissions this year than the first edition of the competition. So it was a very difficult to review all the essays and determine which ones qualify for the top 10. And of course, that means that it was a difficult task for the judges themselves to read through and to select the best three out of all the ones that we had. I sincerely want to thank them for the time. Many of them are very accomplished, extremely accomplished people. So it took them a lot of effort to make the time to read through these essays whilst combining that with their everyday work. So I must thank them. Only one of the judges was able to make it here today, but nonetheless, we're very grateful because we know that they're very busy, very, very busy people. So I'm going to yield the floor to the General Counsel of Optimus Bank, who also served as one of the judges in this year's competition, and she's going to give us perspective from the judges' angle on how this went and how the selections were done, and of course a charge to the winners. Thank you very much.
I think I'm because these guys are amazing, so I would rather do that all standing. So good morning, everyone. Sincere apologies for coming in late. Apparently I missed the timing. I felt it was going to start by 10 on the dot, so I really apologize for that. Apparently, I know lots have been said before I got in, so I really do not need to start all over again. But I would like to commence my speech by saying I was really amazed and impressed by the quality of essays that was sent to me. Initially, I thought it was just going to be an easy walkover, but apparently it wasn't. At the point, I had to go over and over and reevaluated my scores because it was a tough one for me. So I want to say you guys did a very good job. You gave it your best. At some point, I was wondering, are these undergraduate essays or this is like master's thesis? So clearly, a lot of work went into that. And this is a reassurance for us that we are getting better and we are doing better. I do say that when you present an essay from an undergraduate in Nigeria, it's almost immediately rated as 0. Okay, so beyond the fact that I was privileged to graduate, I did my master's abroad. So I can actually, marry both. And I dare to say that it was an excellent job. You did very well. And if at this point you can churn out, an essay of this magnitude, then I wonder what you guys would do at a very high level. So having said that, you know that it's also going to be a miscarriage of justice if I said somebody did far excellently better than another. However, we were constrained to follow a set of guidelines in evaluating and choosing the best of all. I really don't know the final score. I can't say this is except for when he was calling out the names. And of course, I was looking at something else. I can't say this is the first top three. But I just want to say that you guys don't see it as, I failed in any area. You did what you knew how to do best. You wrote it the way you felt you could communicate. That is not to say that we cannot do better next time. That is not to say that you can't make additional research or you can't, carry out other surveys around, go about, see what is happening beyond Nigeria, do your proper comparison, and do a lot better. However, it is a great start. Like I said, it's not about who came top or who was the last three or last 10. It's just to reaffirm that we understand the current challenges we are facing. And clearly, the government is doing a lot to manage this phase that we are in. Beyond regulation, there's a lot for us to do as individuals. It's one thing to have sets of laws, rules, guidelines. It's another thing to implement. And I think that is a major challenge we have in this country. Particularly when I was running my master's, I looked at some of their laws, and the truth is, most time it's just like a similitude of what we have here. It's just like somebody replicated it. So I wouldn't say that these developed countries have so fantastic set of laws. As a matter of fact, I think we are even more robust and more exhaustive. Because just on one issue, you find so many directives. You find so many guys. At times you are even confused. So beyond having these laws, beyond having these modalities, for me the greatest challenge is ensuring that we implement them and we see to it that it is not just done, but properly done. Our corporate entities, what are they doing to ensure that we have an environment that is less poisonous? Zero targets, that is the goal. We're coming from 2020. We moved to 2022. Now we are speaking about 2026. I wonder what will happen when we get to 2026. If we continue at this pace, maybe we'll be talking about 2030 or 2040. So that is what I see. We keep pushing the bar, we keep shifting the goalposts, which shouldn't be the situation. So, without saying so much, I commend everybody. I'm aware that some people couldn't make it because of their exams. Also, the same thing for some of the judges. This organization is so dear to us, but when we got the invitation, it was difficult to say, we cannot come. So we had to shelve other arrangements to make it here. And beyond the fact that they are close to us, we really understand the impact of what this is about. This is a platform for us to discover the best brains and for us to acknowledge the efforts they are putting in their growth, not just as an undergraduate, but someone that has prospects in this field. So I couldn't really say no because I'm also very, very passionate about helping the young ones grow and see how we can mentor, those coming behind us to ensure that they do way better than we did. Because there is no sense if you need to pass through certain hurdles and you allow those coming after you to also go through the same. The idea is for you to learn from those incidences and advance appropriately. Someone told me a long time ago that you either learn by experiencing it yourself or by learning from those who have experienced it. And I think the latter is actually better. You don't need to reinvent it. You don't need to go through the same stress they went through. So for me, this is one of the avenues of giving back. I would shock you if I told you that I went to a public university. So I understand what it means. And I tell myself that it's actually a privilege for me to pass through that. I tried, other posh schools, but it didn't just work. Apparently, I later realized that God wanted me to go through that. And to also tell the world that it's not about the school you're attending. Yes, it has influence, but you can do better than your environment. You can actually come out better. If you apply yourself, if you exert yourself, and if you think right, if you are positive, you can do much more than you think. So see this as an opportunity for you. It's a leverage to push yourself. This is an organization that is also mindful about raising, younger lawyers to be better. So please don't lose this contact, don't lose this touch. You have a wonderful partner that is ready to pick your calls. If you are confused at any point, you need to discuss anything about your career, please feel free to reach out. We are not there yet, we are also moving. Every day we are learning, every day we are learning. So nobody is there. I can tell you categorically that having read through your essays, I had to go back to review a lot of things myself because I don't know how you can adjust someone if you don't understand what the person is trying to say. So that was additional work for me. I had to go back to review certain laws. And I also need to state at this point that I noticed that some of us knew what to write. We had the resources, but it was about communication and arrangement of our thoughts. I see some essays that had more resources, but the problem was management, arrangement.
Mm.
I saw that some people had that challenge. This person is saying so many fantastic things, but the person said it at some inappropriate places. So if you were not careful enough to read through, you would have missed that point. So that is another thing we need to learn. While I was doing my master's, I realized that some of the approach that we were trained with in Nigeria wasn't really the best. Then I'll gather like so many textbooks, I'll get this material, get that, bombard everything. And then I realized that the courses that I wrote so much, and I felt that I had 1,000,001 materials to justify, actually didn't come out well. The result wasn't that fantastic. However, the ones that I had to sit down and profile my own solution, having analyzed all the resources I had, those were the particular courses that I did excellently well. Thankfully, I was able to understand that early enough. So these guys already know all the resources you want to quote. They are aware. They want to see your own application of those materials. What's your thoughts? I need to understand how you want to make it better. If you're going to command this role, how well will you do it? That's what they have done. And I think we should start understanding that approach from now. So when you engage them, yes, they understand, they have read, they made their research, but they are speaking to you based on their own analysis. They will tell you this person said this. This is another school of thought, but I am of the opinion that we should do this. Do you understand? So that makes you stand out. So one of the things I looked out for in the essays I reviewed was the conclusion. What's your take? Do you agree that all these policies suffices? Do you agree that we are okay at this point? Do you agree that we can do better? Have you identified certain gaps in these policies or the implementation? And how well do you think we can do it better? Those were the things I was looking out for. Because the idea of your essay and your thesis is to make recommendations, not to just restate what somebody had said before. Those things can guide you, but you need to build on that. So those are the take home I think we should well on. Well, yes, it's fantastic, yes. Are they good for referrals? Yes. Are they things we can only say this was done by our undergraduate? Yes. But the question is, you are asked to make recommendations. Can you give me 5 recommendations from your essays? That if I need to review my policies or my guidelines, I will take up his answer. That is the goal for us. Now, having said that, while I was talking with the partner yesterday, she said something that really caught my attention. She said, after this program, there will be a mentorship, follow-up that, our candidates will be able to talk to us, share their fears, their opinion, and so we can guide them appropriately, which was very fantastic for me. So, some people actually seek for this, but it's very difficult for them to find. I'm young, and I'm grateful for this opportunity, not because I'm the best of all, but not because I have something that no other person has. But number one, what has played out is the fact that I'm confident of who I am and what I can offer. And like I said, going by the results, going by other things, you will think that some people do not qualify for certain things. But if you're careful enough and you're very deep, you will know that certain qualities surpasses others. If you look at our ranks or the number of lawyers we have in this country, you realize that for every one of you, there's a 10,000 replacement, whether you like it or not. So you're not the first and you'll not be the last. But the question is, what makes you different? What stands you out? In a gathering of 1,000 lawyers, what are you known for? And beautifully enough, law is wide. It's so wide. And you can find your footing anywhere. Just identify your area and stick to it. Right from when I was in law school, I tell my friends, I don't see myself practicing. Not because I wasn't sure I was going to do well, but I knew I didn't have the flame. It was tiring for me to sit in the court from morning till night to evening, waiting for one judge. And the judge will come and say, okay, I'm here. All matters are adjourned till next week. And I'm like, my day is just wasted. Meanwhile, I had friends that you cannot give them anything in corporate world and they would accept. They are so restless. They want to be on top of the, they want to do this. No, this is here. I have one. And I'm like, what's your issue? Where are you running to? Do I blame them? No. It's about personality. It's about what you want. So another thing you should do is to quickly find your niche in the market. Don't waste your time. After service, I remember that my head of chambers called me and said, Danny, you are not going anywhere. You continue to work with me. I said, God forbid. I'm not doing this. He said, what do you mean? People don't even know that you're a copper. I remember one time, the first time I wore my NYC outfit to the office, he was mad at me. He was so mad. That how dare you? How many nobody knows this? I said, what's that makeup? And I said, I don't care. You do what even 3-4 years at the back I cannot do. I had to go home and change. I changed that day. And he told me clearly, don't ever wear this thing to my office. It was as if that was actually to me that day. But it's fine. So when I left, when I was about leaving, that was in Benue. I said in Benue, and he said, Madam, you're not going. I said, okay, there's nothing you can do, I'm going. He said, you are going to Lagos. I said, yes, to go and do what? I said, I don't know. But I'm going. He said, okay, my office is in Abuja. Would you go there? I said, even in Abuja, I'm not going. Why? I said I don't want to do cultural practice. It's not my thing. I said, but you're doing well. Clients are happy. This is my personal experience. Meanwhile, I had people that even if GT Bank called them, they won't leave practice. And they were collecting maybe 20,000, 25,000. And now they are big boys and girls. So it's about what you want. Funny enough, when I came back to it, I eventually came back to practice. I did it for like 2 years. But in my mind, I knew that this thing will not last. So when I got a job offer in GT Bank, I told my boss, I was like, I always knew that I would go back to practice. Because I couldn't hide it. It was obvious. And he said, but thankfully you started on a good note. You had this experience and it will help you in your analysis. I said, fine. So I joined the bank. From there, I went to the telecoms industry before I came back to the banking sector. And I'm happy doing this. Even as a corporate lawyer, you still have so many fields. After a while, I decided that I didn't like the up and down of some in-house lawyers. It wasn't my thing. I preferred to do the back-end job. And these things have a way of playing out. So currently, I'm the company secretary of the bank. I also head the legal team. But if you ask me, what's my forte? I would always tell you, company secretary. So what I do is I look for people that are very good, that can handle legal matters for me, and put you can work on that while I oversee what you do. So it's not too late to identify what you want, otherwise you just be floating and you waste your time. I was in university for how many years? More than 7 years, doing 5 years course. That time is wasted already, but God has been faithful. So you really don't have so much time. That 7 years, someone has completed the program like twice in a foreign university. So what are we talking about? To conclude my speech, you have a whole bright future ahead of you. Please don't waste it. It doesn't make sense when we have fought this far and people coming behind us cannot do way better than us. I tell my team members, when I do anything, I expect you to do it better because I'm giving you the platform. So in the next 3 years, when you are doing what I'm doing, if it's not a better output, you're in trouble. Because what's my game? Push yourself as hard as you can. Remember that your eventual success doesn't really lie in your abilities. There's a supreme being that helps us all. That's more important. But do your part and see God bless you. Don't ever think that you've exerted yourself enough. No, keep pushing, build network. There are so many places you cannot enter with your distinction. It's just that one person that will open the door for you. As much as you can, expose yourself, be available, network, meet people, ask questions, apply yourself, have fun, enjoy life, but don't forget your goal. It's just one life. Please use it well. So that at the end of the day, you can look back and say you have a fulfilled life. Not just about your career, other things are important. Your family, your network, your relationship with God. Everything together forms your life. And don't toy with it because it's just one that you have. I think I've said more than enough. If there's any question, I'm happy to take it. And I wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you so much. That was a very, very motherly speech, and I'm sure that our winners have taken, what is important to take away from there. There were a lot of nuggets and gems in that speech. I particularly like the reference to the process and the procedure for reviewing the essays and speaking to the fact that some people had a lot of resources, but they hadn't quite successfully, been able to, organize their thoughts or show authenticity in the way that they handled it. So I'm just going to speak quickly to why Dealhq Partners runs these essay competitions. So we started off with this in 2021, and there are three primary reasons why we started the Dealhq undergraduate essay. I think one was the understanding that the undergraduate community was an important stakeholder community to any law firm that is going places. And therefore, we wanted to look for avenues to cut that community and be able to engage with them. The other thing is that because we're a heavily knowledge-driven environment in Dealhq, we're consistently driving engagement on policy, on new regulations and all of that. And we thought we don't only build platforms for the business community to have understanding of new regulations, market frontiers and all of that. We must also align this with the student community so that they have a broader mind view as they navigate their educational experience, and that allows them to come into the market stronger and better people. And therefore, we decided that every year we were going to give an opportunity to undergraduate students to distinguish themselves through research and thought leadership in particular areas that align with our firm's practice area. So the first essay competition had a topic that dwelled on the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement, which is not something that is in the school curriculum for law students. But of course, it's important that beyond what's in the school curriculum, that you're also very aware, and that issues that are trending in the marketplace are also top of mind for you as students. And we had very good, outcome, which surprised us because a lot of people do moot competitions and organize essay competitions in universities, but they are usually tailored towards, jurisprudential matters and things like that. But we didn't want to go clearly in that direction. So I'm really excited to see that in its second year, we have been proven right that there is a need for people within that community and demography to be exposed to the broader issues around business, around policy, as it affects business people. So this year, we were asked to write on climate action. I also know that that's not, we didn't really be following what is going on in that area, because by the time you are done with school, a lot of things would have changed in terms of energy, transition, sustainability, even financing and corporate governance. So you need to now start looking at this top of mind for you. I'm also happy to report that we had more than 3 times the number of essay competitions than we had in the previous year. And that speaks to the fact that the student community is embracing, the opportunity. We're very excited about that fact. We are also excited that not only does the Dealhq Partners competition think about giving you money prize at the end of, the competition, there is also much more important than the money, the opportunity for internship and for mentorship. And like Mrs. Odetunde said, we want to keep the relationship with everyone that has participated, in the competition. So beyond the fact that you will be going home with some prize money today, more important for me is the fact that you will be paired with a mentor for a year period. Like I said, our judges don't just exit the competition at the end of the period. They also serve as mentors to the winners, and then you have opportunities to intern with our partner organizations. This year, we partnered with Optimus Bank. We also partnered with Aduba PLC, and of course, Dealhq partners. So we expect that you will have you have an internship opportunity that rotates you through these organizations. Dealhq will give you a feel of what it takes to be a commercial lawyer. You will learn about some of our transactions and our practice areas, and that gives you, some leverage over your peers. After that, you will rotate to a bank, one of the newest banks in the Nigerian market today, Optimus Bank, and you met their general counsel. And then finally, you get to go to Adoba PLC, and you will get a clear understanding of how the downstream and midstream oil and gas market works. I think you should clap for Dealhq. So I don't want to drag out this speech because that's not the intention, but I'm very excited that we have you guys with us today. You have shown that there is faith in the Nigerian system. You have shown that the Nigerian youth have the opportunity to contribute to value conversations around topical issues around law and business. I congratulate you again, and I say thank you for giving us the opportunity to see stellar quality essays in this year's competition. Thank you. So to do the presentation, take pictures. Yes, please.
Okay. We'll go right into the our presentation. Okay, so for our top three, we have Chidera Ibornu, who is not here today because she has exams. She's the second runner-up. The first runner-up is Gostan Mweze. We're going to be calling our judge to present the certificate to her. Okay, in the first position we have Olaoluwa Andrew Ayefan.
rounds of pictures. Please join us. And maybe some outside as well. No. Our competition team. Where are you? Kenan, please join this picture. Please join us. Let's have you. Your videos are where's Ken? Very much. So we're just gonna have breakfast and then everybody else can get back to work. It's not a free day for Dealhq partners, it's not a holiday. So let me introduce you to Did you write the name of the essay? You did.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know.
Agencies and a cost price from Nsuka. So invest in University of
That's nice.
Oh, that's your school.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
we must revisit the. Sure, that's good. Well done, guys. Well done. Good. Awesome. Are we set for breakfast?
So you guys should have